everyone. I'm Denise Levy. I'm an artist and designer, and today I'm going to show you how to put together this really fun sunflower card that I designed. So here you'll see I've cut out all the pieces, and I'm just going to kind of get myself organized. I like to use these plastic clear sleeves to hold all the pieces. I tend to cut out a bunch of cards all at once since this is my business, and that kind of keeps me organized. So we're going to start with this background layer. I'm going to put glue just on the bottom, and I will line that up to the bottom, and it'll just be centered there in that middle part of the card. Those cloud pieces are cut out. So once you get that glued down, those clouds appear. Now I will put more glue kind of in these corners and get that top part glued down. And next I have another cloud that you cut out of gray cardstock. So I will find that in my little bag of elements here. And that's just going to overlap over that right card, that cloud that's on the right, and you can just kind of look at my example and put it where you see fit. I'm going to use some foam adhesive just to give this little cloud some dimension, and I think that looks really nice on that background layer. Here you see me, I weeded, and now I am transferring these little birds onto transfer tape. Cut these out of vinyl. I have cut them out of cardstock, and you can do that as well. I just think this is a lot easier. So I'm just going to overlap those birds over that cloud and the sky, and I think that is a really nice little touch for this card. I'm going to burnish those down and then carefully remove my sticky transfer sheet there, and I don't think I pulled up any cardstock this time. Okay, so now that back layer is complete. So we'll set that aside, and we will move on to our middle layer of the card. So the first thing you're going to do is glue down the grassy hill. So I've got the one color, and it'll line up on the sides there, and you will get that the lighter green, and then the darker green just butts up right to that, and you'll see how that forms that rectangle of like the Polaroid where the Polaroid picture would be. So you just get that light green down first, following the line, the cutout that I have for you, and then butt the darker green next. Then I will get down the green layer of these sunflowers and kind of fiddle with that a little bit and get that down as best I can. And then the next sunflower is kind of cut off on the side. You can see there how it will just line up right to the side of the card, so it should be pretty easy for you to place this second sunflower. And we'll get that down. Then the bottom of the stem lines up, both stem bottoms line up perfectly with that darker grassy hill layer. So that's another way to know that you've got this lined up, and I'm just trying to get it lined up with the white. It doesn't really bother me if a little bit of white is showing. I like to remind people that this is a handmade item, so when you're making something, I think that's part of the charm of it, that it's not, exactly perfect. It's made by you, and that's what makes these cards special, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna get that, and then I had these top pieces that I fiddled with it so much that I was like, all right, I got to get some more glue because I've kind of bent them a little bit. I think I just messed with it just a little bit too much, but the glue will solve that. I'm using the Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue. I love this glue. It's really strong and it comes with this precision tip. So on big areas or small areas, it just works really, really well. So now I've got the yellow layers and now I'm going to get the centers, just line those right up in the center of each flower. And that middle layer of the card is done. Now we will move on to the front layer. The front layer just has a bigger sunflower, a little bit bigger than those other two. So we will get the green layer put down on its white background cut out, so you know exactly where that goes. And also gives it a little bit more stability to the card. So as soon as I have that where I want it, I'll get the yellow flower part down, and then again just glue that brown center in place, right in the center of the sunflower. And then we will, or I will rather, move on to the sentiment. This is just a simple hello sentiment. You could definitely change this up. You could leave it off. You could do thank you. This would be a really sweet happy birthday card. I think this card, I was thinking, probably wouldn't want to send it in the winter. However, I live in the Midwest, so this might actually be a card I would want to make in the winter to cheer me up. I'm filming this in July, so very apropos for late July when I am filming this. So I'm just going to burnish that, use the transfer paper, and then get that adhered to the card. Get that in place just there along the left. Kind of line it up with that opening as best you can. And once I'm happy with that, I will carefully remove the transfer tape. And now I will begin assembling the card. So these cards are really simple. You just bring those front flaps forward, and then there's also another flap on the back layer, and you fold those inward. In the middle layer, one flap goes forward and one flap goes backwards. That way the card will, when you collapse it, if you're going to send this in the mail, it will be a flat. It'll go down flat. I don't know if I'm describing that very well today. So I'm going to line up that edge along that score line in the position that little flap will still be able to fold forward. And then I will also make sure that I have it lined up. You can see I bring it forward. That just assures me that I have it in the right spot. And then I'll make sure I have it. For some reason, I was struggling. This really is easy. I think sometimes when I start filming, I don't know what happens. But anyway, so I'm going to realign that, make sure I have it in the right spot. And I'm also going to make sure I have it lined up on the bottom. Now I'm happy with that. So I'm going to press that down. And then the other side is very easy. You just put some glue. You're going to completely fold over that flap. Press that down and for a couple seconds, and then you see, voila, it's put together. Now we're going to put glue on the tiny flap that we folded inward, and then this top layer is going to glue right to that. And again, just make sure you kind of have it lined up on the bottom and hold that for a few seconds. Make sure you've got that where you want it. And then we'll put glue on the other side. And we'll get that glued down. And then we will just hold that for a couple seconds. And then this card is done. If you purchase this card for me, thank you so much for supporting my art. If you're interested in buying it, it's available in my Etsy shop and on the Silhouette Design Store. I've got links for everything in my profile. And I also appreciate any likes or follows here on YouTube. Thanks again and have a great day.